Now,
Yeah.
within digital colonialism, like people, like you were talking about, Yanis Varoufakis is another now where people should get paid for their data. Yeah, I agree 100%. The problem is we don't have any like platforms. There are some platforms out there, I forget what they're called, but I know that there are some people that are paying people for their data. Yeah, and I don't know how they're marketing that data. Like, putting my marketing hat on, I would market it as ethical data. But like what's happening is there's not a unified approach to it. Yeah. So my idea was a couple things. Have a platform, and I'm really and I'm hoping that like one of the big tech companies, Google, please, adopts this idea of a data marketplace. Yeah. Now the data marketplace is connected to your privacy dashboard, because privacy and data go hand in hand. Yeah. Now, what the privacy dashboard looks like is you get to choose where your data goes. Like, it's not possible for any one person to manage their individual privacy preferences across all the different platforms that they use. Yeah, like no one is taking in that. No one's reading the privacy agreements. No one's reading, all that different stuff. Yeah, so it's too convoluted. We need a unified platform. We need a privacy dashboard, a universal hub. Yeah, where I can go in and I can choose. All right, I'm okay with my data going here. These guys, I hate them. I don't want them to have my data. These guys, if they want to pay for my data, I'm willing to sell them my data. These guys, if they want it for free, maybe it's a research company or something like that, these guys, I'm willing to give it to them for free. Yeah, that's fine. Like when it comes to, like, let's say, like demographic data, yeah, which goes back to what you were talking about with Meta. Now, the reason why demographic data is so important is because with the AI algorithms that people are training, if you don't have enough representation in your data, what happens is you get algorithmic bias, which means all of a sudden you've got recruitment algorithms that are hiring straight white people. They're not hiring.
Which is like a legit example too. It happens.
Totally. This stuff that, but like there were insurance companies that weren't paying out claims based on it's actually difficult to detect bias in data sets. Yeah, I heard of one example where they were trying to figure out it was for a social security thing. They were trying to figure out who's defrauding them, and it winds up like being this might sound controversial, but it might wind up being people from one demographic that get unfairly targeted by this algorithm. So all of a sudden you're like, hang on, why is it all of us that are paying the price for this stuff? Now, the reason why it happened in the first place is because they're using AI algorithms, but they didn't have enough representation in their data. Yeah. So part of my idea for the data marketplace is you go on and you specify, these are the communities that I belong to. Yeah. This is my ethnicity. This is what I do for work. This is the stuff. And that way we can make sure that if someone is lacking like representation from a specific group, they can go to the marketplace and supplement their data to get rid of the bias in their algorithm. Yeah. So this is how we get representation in data. Now, the best part of this idea is that we need higher quality data anyway for the AI algorithms to be able to get smarter. Yeah. The biggest limitation on what's on the AI intelligence is the quality of the data that they're getting. Now, what happens when you start paying people for their data is they start being willing to sell you more data. Yeah. So the idea that I had was, if we want to collect specialized data, we've got to make it easier for people to do that. And the example I was giving you guys before the show was around, say, legal reasoning. Yeah. Now, if I've got some spare time on my hands and I'm a lawyer, okay, and someone's looking for data on legal reasoning. Yeah, I'm just using it as an example, but this could be applied across any profession, across any skill set. Yeah, but all I have to do is get a microphone, have a look at a legal document, read the legal document, and think out loud to a microphone so it captures my thought process as I'm going through the document. Yeah, so at the end of it, I've got data on what legal reasoning actually looks like.
Yeah.
Now, enter someone like Scale AI, right? Hopefully not them. Let's get someone more ethical to do it. Enter someone who actually is looking to build a legal reasoning AI assistant, and all of a sudden you've got a treasure trove of data for them to build their AI algorithm on. So the companies, they get better quality data by paying for it. Yeah. And not only that, by going to the marketplace, what happens is you can ensure that the data you've got has been ethically sourced. Yeah. You can ensure that people actually said, I'm okay with this data going out. Yeah. Now you run the risk of some people being willing to sell their souls to get more data, but what happens is you're still going to get paid. The quality of life will still improve across the board for people that are willing to sell specialized data, as long as they're getting paid for it.
So what you're describing, if I may be so bold as to try and encapsulate it in a few statements, is a scenario, a marketplace, if you will, where people can exchange their goods or services, in this sense, their data, for a price. So somebody else, maybe a service provider or a conglomerator of said data, can come and turn that into another commodity for exchange also on the market. But I think we have a name for this system already. It's called a market system of exchange. And right now, what we have, just to top it off, right now what we have is that same type of data collection, but it's done by scraping data off people. So I refer to the current situation, just so you know, as data slavery.
Okay.
As opposed to what you're describing, which is like a marketplace where you get quality because people are being paid for their data.
I understand what your reservations are around, like.
No, it's a good thing. What I'm saying, that's a better thing than what we got at the moment. We've got slavery as opposed to an exchange system.
Yeah. So it's still a quality of life improvement for everybody across the board.
Yes.
Like to get access to, and here's the thing, like the companies themselves, not only do they get better data,
they get better data from it. Yes.
Like we get better products because they get better data. Now there are companies
that's the thing about market systems. They're supposed to do this. They're supposed to make quality of life better for everyone. The consumer, the producer, the end user, like whatever. That's what it's supposed to be about, lifting the quality.
Now, and this is the beauty of the market economy as well, is because people vote with sorry. But what happens is the people who don't use ethically sourced data, the market puts pressure on them to go to the marketplace and get ethically sourced data.
And see, this is why I'm saying
big enough. Consumers are like, hang on, these guys don't use ethical data in their training systems. Fuck these guys. I'm going to spend my money on the people that are actually using ethical data.
And see, this is why I use the analogy of the current situation we got at the moment where they just extract value out of people for free. And it's just like, you want the service, then we're going to just take data from you and you don't have any rights or claims over it. That's like a form of slavery, if you ask me. And what you're talking about is a developed form of exchange built on top of that, which actually increases the quality for everyone involved in that system, including the end user, which is a better result for everyone. And that's how you actually advance as society in the end, through increasing the quality of the services for everybody in that exchange, which is a more notable, I would say, system, a more noble system.
Because the data economy, right, is actually more complicated than this. Like there are data brokers, like there's actually middlemen in this process as well. Like people who collect the data and then on-sell your data to other people who use it to, I don't know, train their AI models or do whatever they want with it. But like your data is getting exchanged between other people. Yeah. So what the data marketplace does is it cuts out the middleman. Yeah. So the value goes into your pocket instead, and you get to choose. Now, the added benefit is research, like people that are willing to do research and get compensated for it. This is stuff that actually advances science. Yeah. People that are willing to fill out the psychological scales, not just the marketing surveys that make products better. The people that are actually willing to say, hang on, I'll fill in this scale, for the purposes of science. The researchers can go directly to the platform. They can sell their research, and some people might want to do it for free. Some people might not. But the point is the researchers get access to data as well that actually advances science, that advances our knowledge, that advances us as a human race.
And like I think all of this comes down to the one general theme that is being carried on throughout the many things that we've covered already in this podcast, is like there's a general air of exploitation going on here. And like, how do you, because like exploitation doesn't have to be a pejorative term. Like it doesn't have to be negative. Like you can have an exploitative relationship with a friend because like they have a video game that you really want to play. So you go over to their house so you can play the video game. And that's like technically a form of exploiting your friendship, but like it doesn't have to be a bad thing. So like there's more and more ethical ways of getting around an exploitative situation. You can manage it better. And I think like with the current system that we have, especially in the guise of something like digital colonialism, which insinuates exactly what colonialism is all about, is like there's some big sharks or there's some big fish in the pond out there, and like they will devour the little fish, and quite ruthlessly. In the current system that we have, that maybe is premature or underdeveloped, but like they're exploiting people heavily at the moment, and I think that's the theme of digital colonialism at the moment.